Good morning all. In today's section, we are seeing the continuation of organization structure. Moving to the forms of formal organization structure. There are various forms or types of formal organization structure. We have discussed in the previous class about the formal organization and informal organization, and now we are seeing the different forms of formal organization. So forms are also different types depending upon the organization size, the activities going in the organization, the competence of the employees, and the philosophy of organization. So depending on these factors, the forms are of different types. Now let's see the different forms in the formal organization. The first is line organization
Coming
structure.
to the line organization
line and
structure,
this is the oldest and the simplest method that we can see in most of the organization structure.
It is a kind of structure that has line of authority.
In this type of organization structure, there is a form of line of authority, and this authority flow from the top to bottom in a step-by-step manner. We can see the head of the organization have the authority of all the things that is going in that company or in that organization. So the authority moves from top to the bottom level. The responsibility moves in an upward direction. The bottom level employees have more responsibility in doing or completing their work, and this type of organization structure is known as military or scalar or vertical organization. As the authority moves from the top to bottom, this is a kind of vertical organization. All the major decisions are taken only by the top managers. Coming to the features of this organization structure, as I told, this is the simplest and most common form. The direct line of authority flows from the top level to the bottom level, and the responsibility flows in an opposite direction. The lower level employees have more responsibility, but the higher level authority have more the authority in taking the decisions and all. And this type of structure follow the principles of unity of command, unity of directions, and the higher authority person will give commands to the lower employees, as well as he is the person who need to give direction as well as do the supervision of the lower employees. All the decisions are taken by the top administrative level peoples only, and the communication also transmitted from the top to bottom level. That means there is a vertical level communication that takes place in this type of organization structure. Coming to the merits, the first it is very simple. The chain of command, that is from the superior to, or you can say from the top to bottom, but superior and the subordinate having a good relationship in completing the task. Better discipline, the employees take orders from the only one superior person, so they are more disciplined in their work. Fixed and clear-cut responsibility, as I explained previous slides, all the employees have a clear-cut responsibility about their work. Flexibility. There is coordination between the topmost authority and bottom line authorities. Most of the authorities, they are flexible towards their employees in completing the task. Prompt decision making at every level due to the fixed responsibility. As all the employees are aware about their responsibility in completing the work, they are very fast in taking the decision in completing their goals. Next, this type of organization form is economical, since the experts are not appointed. In this organization, the expert persons are not appointed, so it is very economical. Attraction of talented person. It brings talented person in the organization and then train them as leaders and offers opportunity for the self-development. The employees who are talented or the persons who are talented get more attracted to this type of organization, and once they become the part of organization, the management will give proper training them to become a good leaders and give good opportunities for the self development. Although there are some merits, we can see some demerits also in this type of organization structure. The first is lack of specialization. A line of organization flows in scalar chain. That means it flows from the top to bottom. So there is no scope of specialized function. The employees are doing, or all the employees are doing different work. There is no specialized work among the employees. And second is overburden. The top executives are overburdened. There is no span of control. A top executive person need to see all the employees, so they maybe get more overburdened. Third is the inadequate communication. The complaints and suggestions the lower authority are not communicated back to the top authority. In this type of organization structure, the communication only takes place from the top to bottom. Vice versa, communication is not occurred in these kinds of structures, so that is a main demerit. Next is the favoritism. Due to autocratic behavior of the managers, there is more chance of favoritism among the employees. Next is authority leadership. The line officials have the tendency to misuse their authority positions. These lead to autocratic leadership. As I told, the head of the organization having more responsibility, more authority over the other employees. So sometimes there is more chance of misusing this position by the particular leader. So it can lead to a type of autocratic leadership. Next, scope. There is limited scope for the expansion in case of employees, and there is more chance of rigidity in the working environment, but it always depends upon the leadership or the leader of that organization. If the leader is more autocratic in nature, the working environment becomes more rigid for the employees. The second form of organization structure is line and staff organization structure. So it is an organization where the control and specialization is handed over by two groups. So control and specialization, which is handed by two groups, which is known as line members and staff members. So there are two groups, line members and staff members, and also specialized people are introduced in this organization, but they are not giving an authority. This form of organization is more complex and centralized in nature. Now let's see the features of line and staff organization. First, it is more complex. Second, it combines of line and staff authority. So there are two groups, line and staff authority groups. The division of work and specialization takes place in the line and staff organization. So division of work and the specialized work will go on through these two groups, that is line and staff organization. The planning and execution are the two aspects of administration in organization, and this planning and execution is carried out by two groups, that is line and staff organization. Planning is mainly concerned by the staff group, and the execution of all the functions are given to the line executives. So planning is done by the staff organization or the staff group, and the execution of functions by the line executives. But the power of command remains with the line executive members only. The commanding power is only for the line executive group. The staff can provide guidance and advice to the line executives, as the line executives are the authority person, or they have more authority when compared to the staff group. The staff can also provide advice to the line executives. The staff manager has the authority over the subordinates in his department to coordinate the works and to guide the works in his group. He has some authority. There is wide scope of specialization in this type of line and staff organization structure, but the most common thing that we can see in this organization structure is a conflict between the line and staff executive. Moving to the merits, first encouragement to specialization. The line managers get the benefits of specialized knowledge of staff at every level. The staff group having the specialized knowledge and the staff members can give the enough advice and guidelines to the line managers also. So there is more chance of encouragement to specialization. Next, fewer burdens on line executives due to the availability of staff who gives expert advice in planning and research. There is less burden on the line executives in taking on all the actions. Better decision making. The staff helps lines to take better decisions by providing expert advice. The staff group gives the guidance and expert advice to the line member so that he can also take a better decision in the organization. Clear distinction between the counseling and execution. As you know, there are two groups, the line and staff, which have two different types of function. The staff has the advisory function while the line group has the executive function. So there is a clear distinction between the two group functions. Then flexibility, more flexible when compared to the line form of organization. The line form of organization was rigid, but in this case it is more flexible. Training opportunity to the employees. There are better opportunities for the advancement are provided to the employees. The employees get more training opportunity to improve their level in the field of work. Next is the undivided responsibility. It means everybody in the line has accountability for their work. There is no division of responsibility. All the members in the line have accountability towards their work. Unity of command. The line managers have the unity of command and the staff provides special advice and guidance without giving orders to those in the chain of command. There is a unity of command among this organization as the line managers give the command, but the staff can give the advice and guidance without giving orders to the line managers in their group. Coming to the demerits, the first is lack of understanding. The line managers are generally not interested in the advice offered by the experts. As I told, the staff members get the chance to give advice and guidelines to the line managers in the decision making, but most of the time the line managers are not at all interested in taking the advice from the staff experts. If something goes wrong, the attempt is made to pass the blame or by one party to the other. So there is more chance of making blame of one party to the another based on their work or on the work that is performed. There is shifting of responsibilities. As in this type of organization, there is no undivided responsibilities. So there is more chance of shifting of responsibility by one person to another. Next is the dependency. The line managers are more dependent on staff who are seeking advice. As we have discussed previously, the staff experts can give the advice and guidance to the line managers. So most of the time, the line managers become more dependent on the staff for taking advice. Second, the delay in taking decision. As the line executives has to consult the experts before finalizing the decision, it is likely that the line managers delayed for taking decision. As the line executives need to depend on the staff experts for taking the decision or taking the advice, most of the times there is a delay of taking decision by this line executive. Next demerit is the lack of accountability of staff. Since the power of command remains within the line executives, the staff is not accountable for the work. Since all the power of command is given for the line executive, the staff doesn't have much accountability towards their work. Next, expensive. The line and staff organization is a costly organization as the line executives are supported by highly paid staff executives. who are expert that adds to the expense of organization. As I told, there are two groups, the line groups and the staff groups, and the staff executives are experts in the field and they are highly paid for their work. So these kind of executives or these kinds of experts adds an expense to the organization. Next is complexity. Due to dual authority, this organization is too complex. The line and staff organization is very complex as there is division of work and too much dependence on staff experts. As the line executives are the commanding persons, but they need to depend on the staff experts to take the advice and guidance in making the decision. So this type of organization structure is very complex. The third form of organization structure is functional, that is known as functional organization structure. It is most widely used structure where the staff officers have been differentiated from the line organization, both group having the different work. In this type, employees are classified according to the functions performed by them in the organization. In the picture you can see there are different group of employees. One group may be taking part in marketing, the another group may be doing sales, and the another group may be doing services in the organization. So groups are divided on some specialized functions. Every functional department is responsible for the performance of that function for the organization as a whole. So each group may be responsible for the performance of their function. Now let's see the features of functional organization structure. There is a specialization of work. As you know, there are different groups and the groups are based on the specialized work. So this is the specialized work that is done by all groups. The entire organization activities are divided into specified functions. The groups are working on the specified functions. The head of each functional department is a functional specialist. So each group there is a functional specialist who is considered as the head of that department, follows the functional authority relationship among various departments. There is always a relationship between the functional specialist in that organization, but there is a clear-cut line and staff division in doing the work. Coming to the merits, the first is specialization. High degree of specialization by division of work as per the specialization. As the group or the departments of work based on some functions or specialization, there is a high degree of specialization in this organization. High morale and sense of belongingness among the staff. The personnel become expert in their areas. The talents can be more effectively applied that brings satisfaction and increase morale among them. So in each group they are doing a particular or a specialized function. So each member in that group become the expert in their areas. They can use their talents effectively. So it gives more satisfaction or self-satisfaction to the employees. The next point is promote professional achievement and development. Provides a greater scope for the development of employees and they become specialized in one type of function. As all groups are or each group having their own function. So each employee becomes specialized in their work or they become more specialized in one type of function. So the employees will achieve more professional achievement or more development in their particular field. Next, effective coordination. Since there is one specialist head who looks after all the activities that facilitates the effective coordination within function. For each group, as I have already told, there is one specialist for each group. So there become a good coordination in the functions that going in that group. Next merit is flexibility. It provides more flexibility. Necessary changes can be introduced easily to suit the needs of the situation. As the works are going based on the groups, There are small groups and there is a head for each group, so necessary changes can be introduced by the head person in that group depending upon the situation. So the environment is very flexible for each employee. Next, effective supervision and better control. This type of organization facilitates effective control. Being one functional head and due specialization, they concentrate on the specific functional area and also keep effective supervision on the subordinates. As there is one group who is doing the based on only one function one group is doing, and this one group they will have one specialist head, so that specialist head can concentrate all the work that is going in that group. He can give effective supervision and also coordinate the work that is going in that group. Next is accountability. Since there is increased individual accountability towards the work, resulting in increased efficiency. Each group is doing only functional work, so each employee in that group have a great accountability towards the work or completing the task, so it increases the efficiency of work in that organization. Next, the reduction of workload. Each functional head looks after her areas, thus reduce the burden of work of top level administrator. As I told, each group having a functional head, and this functional head need to see only his or her group. So there is a reduced burden of work on the top level administrator. Let's see the demerits. First is multiple command. Each staff at the lower level gets orders and instructions from several persons in a team. Many times the lower level employees may get the instructions or orders from several persons in a team. Second, lack of responsiveness. It lacks responsiveness necessary to cope up with the new and rapidly changing environment. When sometimes the sudden changes can happen in the organization structure itself, in that times there is more chance of less responsiveness by the employees towards the work. Next, delay in decision making. As you all know, in functional structure, there are different departments. So always the higher authority needs to look after all the departments before taking the decision. So there is more chance of delay in decision making. Next point is narrow perspective. A functional head tends to create boundaries around herself and does only for her department rather than the organization as a whole. As we know, there are different groups and for each group there is a functional head. So this functional head is responsible, or he creates boundaries around his department only and see only the activities of his department rather than for the organization. So he only see in a narrow perspective. Next is economy. It is very costly due to the placement of functional expert as the head of department. For each department or each group there is a functional expert. So always it is very costly for the placement of these functional experts in the organization. In today's section, we discuss about the different forms of organization structure. I hope you are clear about the topic. Thank you.